Today we have a very special treat for you. Special treat. It's been difficult to get a hold of this person. So she is the founder of Level Up DXB, a TED Talk keynote speaker, and Arab Woman recipient of this year. We're talking about the one and only Haneen Asfour.
Hi, WJ. How are you?
I'm very well. We are so happy to have you on board to speak with us today. So many questions, and I'm so excited to be speaking with you today. We've been trying to get you on for a while, and we're finally able to get you here. So super excited. Everyone's super excited. Tons of questions for you. Please enlighten us. So to my audience, to people who may not know who you are, please introduce yourself.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me here. And I'm so sorry about everything that has been happening, during this time of the year. Everything has been super messy, but finally, I'm here talking to you guys. In terms of who I am, my name is Haneen Asfour, and I'm a student at the American University of Sharjah. This is my last year, thank God. I study design management with a minor in marketing. And I am also the founder of Level Up DXB, which I'll tell you a bit more about later. I'm also the recipient of the Arab Woman of the Year Award, and I'm a TEDx speaker. So, yeah.
Yes, fantastic. So you have, in such a short amount of time, you managed to just acquire so many different accolades. It's very impressive. So tell us a little bit about your story. How did you kind of get to the point that you're at now?
Oof. Well, I think, it started out in school. In high school, I was someone that was not me right now. I was pretty insecure, pretty shy. I was very, very confused. There were a lot of people around me that, just wanted to apply to Ivy League schools and study, medicine. And I was like, I want to study design. So does that make me a failure? So I kind of felt very, very lost and super confused. And eventually I went into university and I decided to go for design management. And, my first year completely sucked. It was very, very stressful. University just hit me like in the face. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? It was very, very difficult to manage everything. And yet I still tried to make the best out of it. And then during my second year, I started to, apply to more student organizations. I worked, with a few student organizations. And then during my third year, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let me apply for a higher post in those student organizations. And I got rejected from three different clubs or three different organizations. And that kind of, hit me in the face, like, oh my God, what is this? What's happening? Am I not good enough? My confidence was just like, so it was not very pleasant. But that summer, I decided to develop my own skills, and I decided to go for, personal development events. And, there's this company called Najahi, which they brought Tony Robbins and they brought all of these amazing people. So I would attend those events, but I found that those events were usually targeted towards people that were much older, or people that were in their end 30s, 40s maybe, who wanted to, leave their 9-to-5 jobs and start their own businesses and, start doing the things that they were meant to do. And it just simply was not targeted towards me. And I didn't feel like I benefited as much as, the other people there. So I decided, to do a bit of research, and I found that, it was a really, really big issue that there was nothing targeted towards the youth, and the youth were basically just meant to, graduate university and go apply for jobs and hopefully get a job, and that was it. So to me, that was like, what? I mean, I don't want to just go to university. I don't want to just, get my bachelor's degree. I want to do something more. I want to do something more meaningful. And eventually I found that this was something that I could solve, or something that I could try to solve at least. So I built this little team. We started Level Up through Instagram. We started reaching out to Instagram influencers and bloggers. And we started creating those little events with the help of other companies who were willing to sponsor us. And now we're here. So, yeah.
Wow. That's very, very impressive. So it sounds like you had an issue for which you felt like you needed to go ahead and solve that problem, right? So would you say that in Dubai, is that an issue where which a lot of programs are kind of geared more towards adults or people that are more established in their career versus students or people that are entering the job market?
See, when I did my research around a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I found that there really was a lack of things to do for people that were my age, or people that were, let's say, 16 up to 28, let's say. There were always things targeted towards children. There were always things targeted towards adults, but there was nothing. And this specific group, the youth, was, we were just neglected, and there was nothing much for us. Now, over the few years that, now recently, I've been seeing, a lot of different types of centers and different types of educational centers that would help specifically the youth, but only when it came to, let's say, university applications or, wanting to learn how to play basketball or whatever, stuff like that. But when it came to personal development, there was nothing. So, yeah.
Okay. So tell us, a little bit more about exactly what Level Up does, like this organization that you created, right? So what is it that a young person can anticipate to get out of it?
So we started out as a personal development events company targeted towards the youth, just, plain events, creating social media marketing events, public speaking events, confidence, whatever. We'd create those different events and target them towards the youth. Now we realize that personal development doesn't just stem from events themselves. It stems more of creating a community, and why people join our events is to meet other people as well and find like-minded people. So we're focusing more on having those events, yes, but creating more of a community and building more of a powerful community. So if you're a young person and you, let's say, have issues with confidence and you feel like, you barely receive an allowance and you just have that allowance, you don't really have savings, you have, let's say, a small part-time job in the library of your university, you can't really afford much. And nowadays, if you attend or if you would speak to coaches and those executive coaches, they'd go like, oh yeah, so I'll train you for 3 months for 20,000 dirhams. And you're like, 20,000 dirhams from where? So we are aiming to become a very, very affordable platform for the youth, where you would, pay a very, very affordable amount and you would invest it in yourself. It's not really like, paying and that's it. No, it's all about investing in yourself or providing value for you in order for you to build your own confidence, for you to build your leadership skills, for you to build whatever different skills you want, also including marketing, management, entrepreneurship. If you'd like to build your own business, we are there for you in every step of the way.
Events sounds very, very interesting. So would you be able to give us some examples of the type of events that you guys have put together in the past? Because I definitely like the idea of having a community in which we all can kind of communicate and connect with each other. So, but tell us about the events specifically.
Yes, of course. Let me share my screen and show you visually. All right, 1 second. Okay. So this is our website. It's levelup-dxb.com. Over here, we have a few pictures. So this was our first ever event. These 2 pictures are the same event. So basically, we invited those social media influencers who I felt were not just, oh, shoes, look at my shoes, oh, amazing. No, they were actually very, very, beneficial influencers and people that people loved to watch them because they were so real and so authentic. So our first event was held at the Youth Hub, where you can just book this whole entire room for free, completely free of charge. They'd set it up for you in whatever seating area you like. And we had over 200 to 300 registrations because, these people are pretty popular. And the event was a social media marketing panel. And they spoke about, their challenges, their opportunities, what happened, how they found themselves through social media, how they're building their brand through social media, and how social media is just a very, very popular marketing tool. And as you can see, over here, we have those people that were just watching the panel, and it's all completely free of charge. They were able to meet these people, and network with one another. So that was one of our first events. Then let's move on to our second event. So over here, this was a public speaking event. So I invited around, I think, 5 speakers, and each speaker discussed public speaking, but within a different perspective. So one speaker discussed public speaking when it came to selling and when it came to negotiation. Another public speaker, spoke about public speaking when it came to confidence in general, and so on. And, this event was in Nook DXB over here. I don't know if you can see the logo, but we also had a lot of sponsors. We had Power Horse, the energy drink, sponsor us. And it was just a really, really, really fun event because we played music and we had fun, and there were snacks and food, and everyone was able to network. Then, for example, here, it was an intro to entrepreneurship event where all different future or aspiring entrepreneurs wanted to come and attend. So as you can see, all of our events, although they may be very different in terms of, the subjects and the things that we would talk about, but they're very, very collaborative. It's super, it's filled with energy. Everyone's dancing around and laughing and meeting one another. And it's all about building a community.
Yeah, totally. I can see that. It seems like everyone's having a whole lot of fun. So listen, if I'm a young person and I kind of want to be, and I want to participate, I want to be in the mix, I want to be rubbing elbows with some of these folks, like, how do I do that? Is there a way in which I can kind of get a hold of you, or, Level Up, or how do I do that?
All right, so let me reshare my screen and show you exactly how you can do that. So, so over here, we have our website. And if you would just go to the contact, okay, so basically over here, we have like a youth community type thing where it's WhatsApp chats where you can connect with, the rest of our youth and the rest of our community. And we would meet almost every single Saturday to discuss certain topics. So it could be, confidence, marketing, whatever it may be. Things that personally affect the youth. So you can learn more and join our community here. And there are certain rules and regulations for joining the community. So you should be between the age of 16 to 29. You shouldn't, share any promotional content without our permission, remain respectful, and so on. So if you click join our youth community, it will take you to these 4 different links. So we have 2 different groups. We have the Arabic speaking youth community and the English speaking youth community. We have 2 different WhatsApp groups. One group is for the announcements from the admin. So it would be from my co-founder and I, where we would, just have the announcements that, guys, for example, today at 5 p.m. we have this meeting. Here's the link, and that's it. No one else can send anything else. Then the discussion group is pretty self-explanatory. It's where the rest of the group is able to share their opinions, discuss with one another, give each other advice. And yeah, so if you don't want to visit our website, you can just go on Instagram, search level_up_DXB. Oops, wrong account. And then you can click on this link, which will take you exactly here.
And so, and also, if someone would like to get a hold of you or connect with you, would they do the same process?
Yes, so you can DM, the best way to get a hold of us is either to go on our website and go to contact us, which will directly send us an email and notify us that, you have a question or whatever, or you can just go to Level Up DXB and message us. So this is our account. And also you can go to my personal account and I check my DMs as well. So it's Haneen Asfour. You can send me a message and I'll respond to you.
Okay. So yeah, so speaking on a little bit more personal note, so you as a young business owner, I'm sure there's some challenges in which you face, because entrepreneurial is not something that's, for the faint of heart, right? So would you be able to kind of elaborate or speak on some of the challenges in which you've had to face, as a young entrepreneur?
Oof, a lot of challenges. I think in the beginning, you're going to face a lot of confusion and you're going to think, is this business idea worth it? Is it not worth it? Is it worth, going and not listening to the advice of my parents, for example, because, your parents could be looking out for you in the beginning and they could say, you know what, it's not the right time, or, what, we're in the middle of a pandemic, maybe you shouldn't start your business, or, oh, you know what, we're financially unable to do this, so we shouldn't do this, or maybe you should focus on your education right now and worry about opening up a business later. There could be a variety of reasons from your family. However, this is a challenge in itself, because you need to think, is it worth it? Is it worth, being distracted, or not necessarily distracted, but is it worth taking up all that extra time and dedicating so much time to my business rather than focusing on my education, or rather than focusing on my social life, or is it not worth it? There's also the issue of, time management. It's very, very hard to be a full-time student and have, 5 or 6 courses or 15 or 18 credits. And then, just deciding to also add on an additional pile of, starting up a business. There's also, it's difficult to be young and, be an entrepreneur, because people don't tend to take you seriously in the beginning. So there's a variety of challenges that I went through, and each, after each and every stage, the challenges just keep getting more and more difficult, because you may realize 1 or 2 years into your business that, you know what, I'm losing a lot of money and I'm not making any profits, or I'm not making any money. What am I going to do? So this is also like a whole other issue in itself. I think every stage of entrepreneurship comes with a set of different challenges, but that's why you need to be as passionate as possible about what you're doing, because I'm sure you agree when it comes to the fact where opening up a business requires you to, let's say, if I'm opening up a marketing agency, if opening up a marketing agency means that I'm passionate about marketing and social media, that's not all I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be working on the strategy of how to grow my business. I'm going to be working on accounting and finance. I'm going to be working on, economics, and seeing like, how does my business fit into the economy right now? And you're going to be focusing on so many different things. If you hate design, for example, you have to look at the logo and you have to pick out, a brand theme, brand colors, brand whatever. And you are going to have to work on a million different things that you may absolutely despise. So just because you're passionate about one tiny sector that comes to marketing and social media, that doesn't mean you're going to be passionate about everything else. So that's why it's super hard. If you're not passionate about what you're doing in the beginning, you're going to hate your life eventually. You need to be so passionate that you're willing to do the things that you really hate and you really despise to get yourself somewhere, So that's a whole other challenge in itself. So I found, for Level Up, for example, I'm not a math person and I'm not a numbers person at all. So, I had to sit down and actually have to learn how to, make profit, and how, if I put in this amount of money, I'm supposed to get this much back. And it was crappy, honestly, but you have to learn it at the end of the day.
Right. I mean, one thing that I'm hearing, and I think is very fascinating, and I think a lot of folks probably will be able to relate to, is the fact that it seems like this is one of the advantages of the community, right? So you have a community in which you can have access to all these different people who may like all these different things, or may actually be experts in all these different things. And you have access to these people, right? So whatever weakness you may have, or whatever struggle you may have, there's somebody there who can at least relate to what's going on, if not be able to help you come up with solutions, right? So I would say that for me, just kind of hearing this conversation, this seems to be a huge advantage for your organization, Level Up.
Yes, exactly. Because, right now, I think that there's a lot of youth that are very, very ambitious, and they all want to open up their own businesses. If not, they want to just become the best versions of themselves. And with taking that decision and with taking that step, you face a lot of different challenges, and you face, a whole set of insecurities that you never knew you had. And it's just good to turn to the community and say, hey, I'm facing this issue. Is anyone else facing this issue? You would see that there's a lot of different people facing the same things. And it's good because you can even have an accountability partner. You can just text someone and go, hey, do you want to be my accountability partner? If I want to lose weight, gain weight, if I want to have, my business open by this time next year, if I want to whatever, this person would then, hold you accountable for what you're doing. So that's pretty good. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Level Up for me now is a thing. It's a new thing now. Anytime I interact with anyone and they're telling me they're between a certain, age group and they're trying to start a business, I just flat out tell them, hey man, level up. Right? So I just tell them, hey, level up, right? So get with the people, get with the community, get with the experts, the folks that are kind of going through the same struggle, who are basically on that same journey as you, and magical things will happen, great things will happen, right? So it's official, it's a thing. If you're looking to kind of, join a place where people will understand the craziness that is entrepreneurial, endeavors, Level Up. If you have a friend that is excited or wants to know a little bit more about, starting a business, Level Up, right? So, and if you yourself have an idea and you kind of hit some kind of roadblock or you can't proceed any further, Level Up, right? Hashtag Level Up, get the people in your corner that can kind of help you move forward, right? So that being said, you just kind of told us about some of the challenges that you'll face as an entrepreneur. Can you maybe explain a little bit some of the advantages, right? So, because it just can't be all bad, right?
Yeah, of course. I think some of the advantages is that you feel like you are fulfilling something that, is basically like fulfilling your purpose. I don't mean to get all spiritual, but it's kind of like you feel very, very fulfilled, and it's a feeling that you don't necessarily feel when you're studying or when you are working for someone or when you receive a salary. It's not the same feeling. It's more of feeling like, wow, I'm doing something that benefits other people. I'm doing something that other people are benefiting from, and they feel like this is actually solving their problems, and this is something that is very beneficial for them and their family and their friends. And you're basically helping other people level up into the next phases of their lives. You're preparing them, and you're telling them that, what, if you have a very terrible GPA and your friends don't support you and whatever, who cares? Come, be confident with us. Come, become the best version of yourself with us. It doesn't necessarily have to be through creating a business, but it can be through developing yourself overall and, becoming the best version that you can be. So I think that's one of the biggest advantages of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, man, level up, 100% level up. Right. So let me know a little bit about what's next. So everything I've heard so far has been amazing. It seems you've gone through tremendous ups and downs, and you're still resilient. Even with COVID-19, you guys are still kind of, trucking along. So what can we expect from Level Up and from you moving forward for 2021 and beyond?
Can't really say exactly what to expect from us because it's a big, hush-hush secret. But 2021 is going to hold a whole other level of things for us as a company and for us as a community. So hopefully you're going to see some very, very big things from us. And, right now, everything is sort of, simplified, events, youth community. But next year, hopefully, you're going to see a whole other level from Level Up itself, of different ways to actually get you to benefit. Because right now you could come across our page and you can go like, this is interesting, but there isn't something that really pushes you to go for it. But next year, trust me, there will be.
So you heard it here, guys. Join now so you can kind of get grandfathered in, right, before it's too late. Maybe there might be limits. Maybe we might not let you in. Maybe we won't let you level up if it gets past a certain time. So now is the time to level up 100%, right? So thank you so much, Miss Haneen. It was an absolute pleasure to kind of speak with you today. I learned a lot about you. I learned a lot about your organization. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there with maybe more questions or are very interested and kind of what's the next step for Level Up. So would you be able to share any additional contact information on where they can reach you?
The best way, as I said, is basically to just contact us through the Contact Us tab on our website, or you can send us an email as well. The email is also on our website. Or the best way, which I like to contact people, is through Instagram. Just send us a DM. We'll check our DMs. Send me a DM. We have like a little link in the bio, which takes you to the website, the youth community, the WhatsApp group, everything you could possibly need to contact us. We're not very difficult to reach, so don't worry about that.
Fantastic. So thank you so much. So before we go, if you were to summarize yourself, your organization, what would that be?
I think a quote that I live by, but it isn't necessarily something I came up with, is that everything happens for a reason, or maybe rejection is redirection. So as I mentioned before, rejected from 3 different student organizations, thought my life was over, thought that I was like a loser. And eventually I was redirected to something way better than I could have ever imagined. So, if you fail, if you are rejected from something, if you feel like it's the end of the world right now, don't worry. This is just kind of like a transformative process, getting you out of your comfort zone, shaking up your world just a little bit, and taking you to the next level of your life. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. I already feel like I've leveled up already. Just by our conversation, I feel like I'm like 4 or 5 levels, than when I started, right? So thank you so much for this conversation. We definitely appreciate your time. We know you're very busy. You have a lot of things in the works, and we're going to keep an eye out on all the different things that you guys have for 2021, even though, they're kind of on the hush hush right now. So thanks again.
Thank you so much. Have a great, great day. And thank you to everyone who is watching or listening, or, I hope you guys benefited.